Hi everyone, welcome back to the homestead. It is really late to be starting up our garden. I know that we're already into April, and here in the greater Houston area, that means we're about 2 months too late. Unfortunately, I hurt my back earlier in February when I really should have been starting this whole garden, and that set me back quite a bit. Thank you, I am feeling much better now. Yes, I'm feeling great, but again, that just took us a while to get everything going. So here we are at the beginning of April already. We have missed the season for our spring plants. So our cucumbers, zucchini, none of that happened this year. What we're planting today is some tomato plants, hopefully bell pepper plants, eggplant, some watermelon. I actually bought the starts. So we're gonna be putting that in the ground, and then some green beans also. I like to grow bush beans instead of the pole beans, and this is no disrespect. Pole beans, they have their place, but what I have personally found with pole beans, you end up getting a lot of vine, and they do take over a trellis, and just not as many beans. With bush beans, they grow closer to the ground. You don't have to worry about trellising them, and because of that, you pick them low. Now the downside of it is you have to bend over to pick them, unlike pole beans, which grow up on a trellis. So, you know, you guys decide whatever works best for you. I'll say this, I will put some pole beans in with my tomato plants. Probably with every tomato plant, I will drop one pole bean, or maybe every other one. Beans are actually nitrogen fixers for the soil. So when you grow beans with some of your other plants, they actually help to enrich the nitrogen levels in that area, which helps the plant that it's growing with. So it is a good idea to do that, and we'll be doing some of that. Now my wonderful husband John, say hi, wonderful husband John.
Hello.
He has already started laying down the irrigation tape for me. We've had this from last year. We just pulled it back when we rolled back the tarp and tilled this garden. Well, he tilled the garden, and then we put I keep calling it tarp because it looks like tarp. It's woven weed fabric. We put the woven weed fabric back on the ground, and we've put our trellises already up in place where we're going to be growing our tomatoes and peppers and any of our vertical gardening things that grow up high. We'll be putting those on trellises, but he has already started laying back out that drip tape for our irrigation. Y'all can imagine, with a garden this size, if I had to water with a garden hose, I would have no other life other than just watering plants continually. So obviously that's not going to happen. We do get a lot of rain here in the Houston area, but not so much that we don't need to water our plants. So we do have an irrigation system. We have drip tape, which works fantastically. I'm not going to go into all of that, but at the end of the video, I will attach the link to that video right in the top of the screen, so you can click on that if you're interested in learning how to set up your own drip tape irrigation system, and it'll lead you to that video, and y'all can learn that. For now, we're gonna go ahead and get going. Now on this woven weed fabric, because it's all obviously covering the entire garden, what we're going to do is we're just going to burn holes in whatever place we're going to drop a plant. So that means that the rest of the garden stays covered up. I don't have to worry about pulling weeds. I'll just have to watch the area right around the plant where I burned that hole. But it's a wonderful way to keep weeds out of your garden, or at least keep them down to a minimum, and still be able to grow really good plants. So come along and watch.
It's already hot out here, so we gotta move quick.
It is hot. We're praying for some cloud cover. That'll help a lot. So you can see here behind me, these are all the tomato plants and bell pepper plants, watermelons, eggplants, everything that I would like to plant in the garden today. I wish I could tell you guys that I started all of these from seed. I did attempt to start everything from seed. Unfortunately, I think there was a problem in the starting soil that I used, so that project turned very sour very quick, and I lost all of those. So I am relying on the wonderful folks at a nursery nearby. I went yesterday, picked up all of these plants. It's a lot more costly to do it that way, so I do plan on making some changes with the way that I start my seed going forward, so I will cover that in the fall when it's time to start my my new starts for next season. I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes, but some new plans going forward. We're learning things as we're learning to homestead here. So hopefully we'll be more successful in the future. But for now, I am so grateful that I'm able to still purchase these plant starts and have hopefully a wonderful garden this season. So if you've watched our videos for a while, you know that we had a big problem last year with cutworms. They just terrorized my garden and we lost so many plants. And I've heard that if you plant toothpicks right along the stem, that it'll save your plants. What happens is moths will come and lay their eggs right down in the soil. And then when those cutworms, caterpillars, or when the larvae hatch, they'll crawl right up out of the ground and they will eat your plants right along the stem. You won't even know that you're having a problem until you come out the next morning and the plant is laying flat on the ground. And so what I'm going to do is I got some of these long toothpicks and I'm just going to plant them right along the stem, being careful not to actually damage the stem, but just put a couple of them right next to it. And hopefully this will keep cutworms from eating my sweet little tomato plants. So even though we have an irrigation system and that's how we're going to be watering our garden, when I initially plant these, I'm gonna go ahead and give everything a really good soak. I just put fertilizer in the soil, so I wanna make sure that that gets really nice and wet and mixes into the soil well. Also, there's going to be some air pockets that I wanna make sure I eliminate. And these poor roots are going to experience some root shock too. So I want to make sure that everything gets soaked really, really well. And then just for maintenance, from this point on, we can go ahead and use our drip system to water them. Thank you all so much for coming along. Remember, gardening is therapeutic, so happy gardening. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.